The air is thick, a choking mix of ash and fear. A wall of fire, 100 feet high, crackles and roars, devouring everything in its path. Trapped inside a small cabin, a voice crackles over the radio, weak and desperate. Mayday, Mayday, I'm cut off, can't breathe. That voice belongs to a firefighter, one of their own, now on the wrong side of the inferno. What do you do when the rescuer becomes the one who needs rescuing? You won't expect what happens next. It's 15:32 on a scorching August afternoon. The Bear Creek fire, which started as a tiny wisp of smoke just hours ago, has exploded into a monster. Driven by 40-mile-per-hour winds, it's a living, breathing beast. Inside the emergency perimeter, a lone fire scout, Mark, had been mapping the blaze's erratic path. His job was to stay ahead of it, to predict its next move. But the wind shifted. In a matter of minutes, his escape route was gone, swallowed by a pincer movement of flame. His truck won't start. The temperature outside is already climbing past 800 degrees. He's got his fire shelter, a last-ditch tool, but he knows it's a gamble. At the incident command post, a map glows on a screen. Mark's last known GPS coordinate blinks like a dying heartbeat. Captain Eva Rostova, a veteran of countless fires, listens to his strained breathing on the radio. Her face is grim. Protocol says, you don't send a team into a burn-over zone. The risk is too high. You'd be sacrificing a whole crew for one person who's likely already gone. Her team stands ready, their eyes locked on her, waiting for the call. It's her decision. Every instinct, every rule book screams, no. But then, a voice in her head, the same one that haunts so many firefighters, whispers, what if it were you? Rostova makes the call. Engine 5, we're going in. 2-person, rapid extraction team. Full gear. 10-minute operational window, not a second more. Her voice is steel, betraying none of the turmoil inside. 10 minutes, in a wildfire that's both an eternity and no time at all. She knows the science. A fire like this creates its own weather system, generates pyrocumulus clouds, lightning, and fire whirls tornadoes of flame. Sending her team in isn't just dangerous. It's a calculated bet against physics. They're not just fighting a fire, they're entering an atmosphere that wants to incinerate them. Meanwhile, inside the cabin, Mark has deployed his shelter. It looks like a giant silver sleeping bag made of aluminum foil and silica. Outside, the world is a symphony of destruction. The roar is deafening, like a freight train that never passes. The heat is so intense, it feels like it's melting him from the inside out. He clutches his radio, talking, trying to keep his mind from spiraling. He talks about his daughter's upcoming birthday. He describes the color of the sky before the smoke rolled in. He's not just talking to his captain. He's tethering himself to the world, fighting to keep his consciousness from fading into the darkness. 4 minutes into the 10-minute window, the rescue truck slams through a burning barricade of fallen trees. The driver, a young firefighter named Chen, can barely see through the windshield. Embers the size of fists rain down, cracking the reinforced glass. Rostova's voice is a constant presence on their headsets, guiding them. GPS shows you're 500 yards out. Heat signature from the cabin is spiking. Be advised the roof could be compromised. But then, a new problem. The road ahead is gone, washed out by a torrent of red-hot debris. They're blocked. They're on foot from here. This is the turning point. The truck, their lifeline, and their escape route is no longer an option. They now have to cross 500 yards of burning, unstable ground on foot. Find Mark, and get back before their own air tanks run dry. The odds of success just plummeted. Rostova, hearing this from miles away, feels her heart sink. She has to decide whether to pull them back, abort the mission. But before she can speak, the 2 firefighters are already out of the truck, moving forward into the smoke. They've made the choice for her. Inside the shelter, Mark's world has gone silent. The roaring has subsided, replaced by an eerie calm. He knows what this means. The main fire front has passed over him. He survived, but the air is unbreathable. Pure carbon monoxide. His shelter is intact, but he can't leave it. He's trapped in his own life raft. His oxygen is running low. He feels a profound sense of drowsiness, a peaceful warmth spreading through his limbs. It's the siren song of hypoxia, the body's final gentle surrender. He closes his eyes. Just as he begins to drift away, he hears a sound, muffled banging. At first he thinks he's imagining it, then it comes again louder. Can you hear us? We're here. A gloved hand rips open the shelter. A face, hidden behind a mask and helmet, peers in. Air, fresh, clean air, rushes in, and he takes a desperate, ragged breath. They pull him out. He can't stand. His legs are useless. They each grab an arm and start dragging him back through the smoldering wasteland. The world is a blur of red and black. Every step is a monumental effort. They don't speak, they just move, driven by adrenaline and a singular purpose. Back at the command post. The radio was silent for 3 excruciating minutes. The 10-minute window had passed. Rostova stood frozen, staring at the screen. And then a crackle. Command. This is rescue. We have the package. We're out. A wave of relief so powerful it almost brought her to her knees washed over the room. They made it. They actually made it. As the smoke cleared in the following days, the full picture emerged. The rescue was hailed as a miracle, a story of unbelievable bravery. But for the firefighters involved, it wasn't about bravery. It was about training. For years they had practiced this exact scenario, dragging a downed firefighter, navigating in zero visibility, making decisions under extreme duress. They didn't have time to think or feel or panic. They just did what they were trained to do. But the story doesn't end there. In the months that followed, Mark battled with the psychological aftermath, the survivor's guilt. 2 of his colleagues on that same fire line didn't make it. The young firefighter Chen woke up screaming for weeks. Captain Rostova replayed her decision 1,000 times, haunted by the what-ifs. Statistics show that firefighters are more likely to die by suicide than in the line of duty. The invisible scars of trauma and burnout are the battles they fight long after the flames are extinguished. Their heroism wasn't born in that moment of crisis. It was forged over years of relentless, repetitive, and exhausting preparation. They weren't superhuman. They were just supremely prepared. Because in the face of chaos, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. If this story made you reflect on the hidden pressures our first responders face, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more stories that explore the depth of human resilience. Thank you for watching.